Produced by Missed Apex, administrated by Richard Molden and Sam Watley, and broadcasted by Steve Amy. This is the brand new Missed Apex iRacing F3 Cup. Welcome to Spa-Francorchamps, and we are here for a brand new series, a whole new season, new car, pretty much new everything, as we're continuing on with the Missed Apex esports series. I guess we could class this as the third one that we have done for broadcasting's sake. We've moved on from the Formula Renault 2.0 and we say hello to the Dallara F317. My name is Chris Stevens and I'll be your lead commentator this evening. Joining me as always is Chris Catman Turner. Chris, don't these cars look fantastic on track?
They're stunning and they sound fantastic too, Chris. I think things just got serious for this season.
Absolutely. So we have about 60 entries tonight, which is maybe about 15 more than what we would get on a particularly busy night in the Formula Renault Challenge last season. It's going to be a packed grid.
It's going to be amazing. Luckily, we've chosen some excellent circuits to be able to cram those cars in on, Chris.
Yep, so nice big circuits for us to be racing on. So, it could be criminal that we haven't. Oh, as we see Danny Henney just spinning it out of La Source, the defending Formula Renault champion, and he's back to the pits. So the first drama of the new season already. But, big circuits for this season. And Spa being one of the biggest, all 7 kilometres of it in its Grand Prix glory. And we're in for a real treat, I think.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely magnificent. And this circuit, what a circuit. You can see why the Formula One circus likes coming back here every year. And I'm surprised this is the first time we've done it, Chris.
Yeah, it is. I was saying it's probably a little bit criminal, but I think in the Formula Renaults it wouldn't have been as amazing. But certainly these cars, very suited to this track. And we can talk a little bit more about the car. Actually, so the F317, as we mentioned, this for me kind of just represents this halcyon Formula 3 period, because the car and its philosophy didn't really change from like the early 2000s up until a couple of years ago. Just lightweight, barely any downforce, skitty little thing, and you slide the wheels off it for a hot lap.
And it is so responsive as well, Chris. I know that we've been practicing during the week. We've had a bit of a dabble, each of us, and the car is just so much more responsive. It turns in nicely, and it generates so much downforce. And that engine is an absolute monster.
And unlike the Formula Renault, this car loves sliding. You can really get the back end out and save it, whereas if you did that in the Formula Renault, you were pretty much dead. And I've just done my first season of iRacing officials with the Formula 3, and I can already tell you it's just such an amazing car, and I think we're in for just a great show. I think it's going to look fantastic on the stream, and if you are joining us for the live stream on the Missed Apex Motorsport YouTube channel, hello, thank you for joining us. Welcome to a brand new era for Missed Apex esports history. And we're really excited to get going. We've got all the familiar names back up there. Danny Henney, the defending champion, as you'll see, race winners from last season. Brad Philpott has rejoined for this race. We'll see if he does any more during the rest of the season as well. Henney again made the exact same mistake out of La Source. I hope he doesn't do that in qualifying, which is coming up in about 16 minutes' time.
And you know what, Chris? That is one thing that I'm actually really looking forward to. These cars, you say they like a good slide, but once you get over that limit, you end up in the wall around here. And these cars do not like taking damage well. So one mistake and these guys are out of it. So it's not something that is to be shooed at.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned damage, because we have the new damage model from iRacing. So the crashes are going to look even more spectacular than they did before, which is going to be great for you viewers.
And actually, they'll have more impact on the drivers around you. So if your wheel starts bouncing off down the circuit, the other guys can hit that and actually damage themselves. So you've got to be perfect at collision avoidance, just like our main dude, Spanners, who has joined us in the commentary box.
Hey guys, just popping in. being careful and being a corporate dad racer has been what has kept me solidly mid-table. But I tell you what, lads, I'm taking a bit of a risk tonight.
So we hear
yeah.
that Yep, go on.
I was waiting for you to be intrigued, and then I was going to tell you.
Well, tell us more.
So you were talking about Danny there losing it out of Le Source. A lot of the top guys for race 1 have really stripped back the aero because there's a classic battle between the infield and the straights. So the likes of Henny and Philpott, I think, are going for race 1 really low downforce, and then when we have the mixed reverse 20s, putting a high downforce package on. So I'm taking a bit of a risk here. I'm running the low downforce just to see if I can kind of get out of that midfield and score a good result. But it's a coin flip as to whether I stay pointing forward.
I'm expecting a trolley train situation for you, Spanners, then. Fast down the straights, but a bit dicey through the corners then.
Maybe. I'll leave you guys to it. Have a fantastic evening. You two are always amazing on the comms. And a big shout out to Uncle Steve as well, pressing all the buttons, providing these beautiful pictures that you'll see.
Absolutely. Well, good luck tonight, Spanners.
Do you mean that?
Yes.
Fine, I'm out. Spanners out.
Okay. All right, see ya. Now.
Sorry, Chris.
Oh, go on.
I was going to say, just for you listeners in the YouTube, I will be keeping a track of all of our panelists. So we do have Carl Power, we've got Spanners, we've got Trumpets and Van Gene as well. So I will keep you abreast of all of the where they end up and any incidents they get into through the evening.
Yeah, Kyle was very much the dominant panelist last season, but Alex has been quite quick in this car, and of course we've got Brad to contend with as well, so Kyle's got to fight for those top dog honours. Now, if you're listening to this broadcast, or you do some iRacing, and you want to find a way to kind of shave a few tenths off of your lap time, the Missed Apex now does an iRacing podcast where we get people like Brad Philpott to come in and we utilize his vast experience. He races in the VCO Formula 3 Championship where they have F1 drivers and all sorts of GT stars, you know, the biggest names of motorsport competing against each other in iRacing, and he's currently 10th out of those top star runners. He represented Great Britain in the VCO Cup of Nations as well, and Williams esports team as well in the digital NLS series. So he knows what he's talking about, and we definitely lean on him for a little bit of advice now and then. So let's take a little look at the kind of stuff you can expect to see in our new iRacing podcast. Well, apologies, I don't think we have that clip available at the moment, but you can absolutely go and check out the show on all of your regular podcast apps, and go and check it out on the website as well. Now, Chris, this particular race, Spanners alluded to the battle between the high downforce setups and the low downforce setups, and we saw a lot of people testing that out last night. There was a particularly dicey battle between Brad and Danny, where Danny was running more downforce and was about 8k slower down the Kemmel Straight, and even with the slipstream couldn't find a way past, but he was massively quick in that middle sector.
That's it, and you've got to be able to make it work for you, because despite being quicker in the middle sector, there aren't a lot of passing opportunities in that sector. All down this Kemmel Straight where you've really got to be in the slipstream and making a move into the chicane. But if you can just pull away that little bit through the middle sector with the high downforce, you might make it. But as far as I'm aware, I think both Philpott and Henny have both gone for the low downforce setup this evening.
Yes, by the sounds of it, they've both decided to take the risk for the middle sector and go for that straight line speed in the hope that they can kind of just pull away from the dramas, and if they do come under any pressure, they can just repel their advances with a bit of extra straight line speed. This car, just out of interest, for those who want to know, 2-litre engine in the back of this that whacks out about 240 brake horsepower, doesn't sound like a lot, but the car weighs less than 600 kilos, and that is what kind of gives it its very slidey nature, and also makes for fantastic racing. So a little under 10 minutes left in this session. This is just the end of practice before they go into qualifying. If you're new to the Missed Apex esports arena, then generally how it works is we have a 10-minute qualifying session coming up after this. And it's not like in the officials where you're on the track on your own and you only get 2 flying laps. You have 10 minutes, everyone out on track, all 60 cars, and you have as many laps as you can fit in. And we usually see the best times coming in about lap 3, lap 4, and sometimes lap 5 if they can fit it in to the session. Because we talked about it in the Formula Renaults, but this car kind of has the same problem with it takes a few laps to get the tyres up to temperature. So the first couple of flying laps is all about keeping it on the track. And then after that, we go into the first race. That's our kind of our feature race. And then we have 2 top 20 reverse grid races after that as well. So 3 races per night. And plenty of action as well.
So who are the runners and riders this evening, Chris? Who do you think is going to make an impact this evening, certainly on the first race?
Well, I mean, we have to look at Philpott currently leading this session on a 2-minute 10.3. The defending Formula Renault champion, Danny Henney, is in second place at the moment, a 10th behind them. Gregory Leader, who was he was a gold driver, very much up there in the gold driver standings and fighting for the occasional podium. He's currently 3rd fastest and has been really showing a good turn of pace so far this week. So he could be the dark horse we need to look out for. And I think we have a lot of our usual suspects up there. People like Alexander Dobertsberger, Kyle Power, Stephen Williams, David Hatton, the first Formula Renault champion. Luca Harrison is right up there as well. I'm surprised to see Tim Ellis down there in 12th, given he's been a championship contender for the last 2 seasons.
He is, and let's not forget the strength of this field. So up to P9 down to Alex Drillsma there. They are all slightly faster than the real F3 time set by Lando Norris for his pole position in this very car at this circuit. So, you know, these guys are no slouches. They are super fast.
All the way back in 2017. So you're familiar with the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps from the many years of watching the Belgian Grand Prix. Do you know it in a Formula 3 car? We sent spanners out to go and guide us around all 7 kilometers of this fantastic circuit. No, apologies, we can't bring you that either. But seems like we have a bit of an audio issue tonight, but so long as you can hear me, Chris, and the cars, then that's really all that is important. A little bit of housekeeping, actually, because Danny messaged me to ask if the old stats from the Formula Renault Challenge are still valid, and they absolutely are not. I'm currently holding my my stat sheet from it, and it's going in the bin. It's done, and we are starting afresh with a brand new stat sheet.
Fantastic. That's what I'm looking for. I don't see much changing. As you say, you've got Philpott and Henney up at the top, but I would really I'm so excited to see these guys duking it out in what I think is a proper race car.
Absolutely. Should we take a look at some of the liveries while we've got 5 minutes? We've currently got Brad just going through the Fanish chicane. He's tucked up behind Kyle Power. Kyle has a gorgeous livery, if I do say that. Wonderful green, and I think Danny actually worked on this for him with all the Venom Works stuff that he does. It's gorgeous. I think it really stands out.
Oh, absolutely. He's keeping that trademark green But yeah, I think he's in, as you said, in the same Venom Works team as Danny, and he's got the kind of bit on the nose cone there that's the same. As we have a fantastic little incident behind, that gives you a little bit of of insight into what it will look like when they have a crash. And as you say, Brad's is for his race team as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and his looks incredible. It's very official, isn't it? We should look at David Hatton as well. Of course, his is very similar to his old one, but he's very much leaning into the monster energy, or as his is going to be called, beast energy. And he's even chosen car 666 to really hone that one home. So sounds like, I mean, we said this about last season when he ran the number one on his car, statement of intent. But it looks like he's going to try and get the top honours back.
Other energy drinks are available or not, as the case may be.
Yeah. So, we mentioned Tim Ellis earlier. He's running probably only for this week, sadly, but he's got a lovely classic Jaguar F1 livery on his number 14 car.
Yeah, that's absolutely stunning. I love that green. That's a British racing green, isn't it, Chris?
Absolutely. Oh, actually, yeah. So speaking of the Aston Martin, it is Stephen Williams who has an Aston Martin homage. I don't know if you can call it a homage when it's only a few weeks old. And just behind him, Spanner's new livery. Got to say, big improvement on the one he ran last season, which was just, I mean, people screamed when they saw it in fear. But this is very nice, very reminiscent of the Vodafone McLaren days.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That harks back to the good old British, as you say, the McLaren with Jensen and Lewis there. They were good times, Chris.
Absolutely. We should take a look at Trumpets as well. He's slightly updated his livery. A lot of missed Apex tones in there, but the black to go with the gold, very nice.
Absolutely stunning. And then you move on to Alex Van Gien, who's doing a tribute to the new Alpine livery with his classic blue and red colours, with the missed Apex on the front wing. That's a pretty good livery too, Chris.
His is a great livery, yeah.
They pulled out the stops for this one.
Yeah, really, really good. But I got to say, I've been saving the best till last. Lucas Raskovitz and his sort of 70s Lotus colours on his, I think is just a mwah.
Yeah, that is pretty good, I would say. There is a Golf livery in there too. I think that's...
Barry Kemp sticking to his traditional colours, the South African racer. But it's kind of elevated it for the F3.
Absolutely, and Rich Molden with that wonderful yellowy, greeny, luminous, awful colour. He's still got that.
As he's an admin, I am obliged to say that it's fantastic.
It's one of the best liveries on the grid.
Yep, absolutely. And we saw Danny in a sort of a late 90s Ferrari tribute, which he sort of continued on into this season as well. And it looks very, very nice.
It does. I'm going to miss that lovely orange that he had last year. As you say, he's replaced it with the red and the Ferrari logos over it. But actually, I really like the orange.
We do still have some orange. We have Brian Boomsma is still running his classic orange, his national colours.
Well, and we got Miguel Morland in that wonderful Target car from the 90s with Alex Zanardi in the Indy cars. That is a beautiful livery.
Yeah. And I got to say, Alexander Dovesberger, car number 21, he had one of my favourite Formula Renault liveries, which was the Ace of Spades, and it just looks even better on the Formula 3 car.
Yep, my taste in liveries has been somewhat called out on the podcast recently. This is not one of my favourites, the Ace of Spades, I must say.
Well, you have been a controversial figure of late on the show, and if you want to go and check that out, go to Missed Apex Podcast's YouTube channel or on the website, or download it on your podcatcher of choice. And in fact, on Sunday we'll be reviewing pre-season testing, so you don't want to miss that. The season is so nearly here, but we're going to give you some racing tonight to just kind of tide you over a little bit. So less than a minute left in this session, so it looks like Philpott's going to take the first. I don't want to say honours, but he's topped the first official session of the season. 2 minutes 10.3 and a 10th clear of Danny Henney.
He hasn't, although Danny Henney has lined up on the grid in the pole position slot to just do a practice start there, a little cheeky practice start at the end of the session with his double clutch system. I'm expecting him to get away well today.
Yeah, and Philpott, equally with a good clutch system on his rig, should be able to answer that call. So it looks like we've got most of the cars back in the pits, and that is the checkered flag. Yeah, so it's not good enough to do it in practice. Now is when it counts, as we see the flurry of cars coming out of the pits. Isn't that a fantastic sight? And it's it's Molden who's led the field out ahead of Van Gien and Luca Harrison. I can't wait to see all 60 of them flying up Eau Rouge at the same time during the start of the race in about 15 minutes time.
So you've got Henney and Kyle Power out together. Those two will be relatively near the front, but it's all about trying to find that space, Chris.
Van Gien's dropped it at Les Combes. That's not the start he needs to this session. He's trying to get past Richard Molden and just dropped it on the outside.
Now, what does he do at this point? Does he go back to the pits and restart, or does he kind of drop behind the field? Because he
got to
hasn't
just keep going.
Yeah.
Got to just keep going because every lap's going to count, and especially because this is such a long circuit as well. Molden's now dropped it out, and he will have to go back to the pits because he's damaged pretty much all four corners of his car there. Bit of squabbling for track position going on. I wonder if people are fighting for a slipstream. I mean, they probably are, and that's bound to happen. With Sector 1 and Sector 3, very top speed dependent. But of course, it's not really going to matter. The first couple of laps, they're not going to be your best, as we say, because it takes a few laps for the tyres to get up to the operating window. So, it does look more like a race at the moment. Very, very Monza-esque situation we've got developing.
As we have seen in previous sessions, though, Chris, these initial laps can make a big difference, particularly if you're under pressure towards the end of the session, you haven't got that banker in. You could end up a long way down the field if you don't get a decent lap time in. And this circuit, it's a long one. It's got a lot of very technical corners, so it is quite an error generator. This circuit.
I do have to look back to when Henney was awesome at the last round of last season at Interlagos, where he got his first lap in, and nobody else could touch it. And despite him making mistakes on pretty much all his other laps, no one managed to beat that first time, even though the car was probably well out of its operating window. So I wonder if he can pull something out the bag like that again tonight. He's on his first flying lap at the moment, just coming up Eau Rouge. Absolutely flat out in one of these cars. That's Luca Harrison just ahead of him on track. So he's kind of leading the queue, and then we've got Kyle Power just behind them as well. Still warming up his tyres, actually. He's weaving down the Kemmel Straight. Down into the Les Combes chicane for Danny Henney. And through Malmedy. Now, track limits, that's something we're going to have to watch out for, because I don't know about you, Chris, but when I'm driving this circuit, this seems to be one of the biggest headaches for track limits, because you can get them so innocently, not out of this no-name left-hander where you can really abuse the track, but certainly at a lot of other corners, it's very easy to get a 1x for an off-track.
It is, and this season that does make a big difference, Chris. Unlike last year, this year you can get disqualified. Oh well, you can get stop-go penalties.
Yep, if you get 16 X's, you will be given a drive-through penalty. Through this Fagnes chicane. Again, that's another spot where it's easy to pick one up. And Danny said to me, the only one that really makes a difference is this one here, out of Stavolo. So that was right on the cusp, as he had his right-hand wheels right up to the white line. But of course, because you're flat out through Curve Porfray and all the way up the hill now towards the bus stop, gaining an extra couple of centimetres of track just lets you get on the power a little bit earlier and carry all that speed for a good third of the lap. And this is where you can really just undo and throw away a very good lap by braking too deep. And that's exactly what Danny's done. A little bit of a slide, and he's tight into the left-hander, so that's going to ruin his run down this front straight as well, although it's quite short, so it shouldn't make too much of a difference. It's a 2-minute 12.0. That's the first time on the board. And Kyle Power slots in 3/10 behind him.
That's not bad for first lap out of the pits with cold tyres.
No, absolutely not. We're expecting to see the ultimate pace should be mid 210s.
You've got Alex Dobbelsberger's now put in a 211.7, and Lucas Raskovic actually just dropped in just behind Danny Henny on a 212.2.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyle down in 5th place at the moment, and I had Tim Ellis between him as well. Alex Drillsma's gone up into 2nd place on a 2-minute 12 flat, so he's beaten Henny by 1,000th of a second. And this is actually another car with a nice livery I wanted to point out in practice. It's a very Porsche-esque with the white, the red, and the black.
It is, and we've got Spanners up in P9, although he's 1.3 seconds adrift of the top time so far, but that is a good start for him.
Absolutely. Stephen Williams currently in 5th place, 4.5 tenths off of Dobbelsberger's pace. Let's have a look and see how he's getting on. He's coming around Rivage now on his 2nd flying lap. Brad Philpott, though, straight to the top of the times and 4 tenths clear. 2 minutes 11.3.
Wow, 4 tenths clear on his first lap out of the pits. That is going to take some beating.
Yeah, and we're all looking at Danny for this, so we'll see how his 2nd lap unfolds. But at the moment, it's Philpott who's laid down the marker. Dobbelsberger just coming out of Stavolo corner now and winding his way onto the back straight. I've got to say, most of the cars are in a bit of traffic. Philpott is in completely clear air, so he's not gaining any kind of slipstream. Henny's 2nd effort puts him about a 1/4 of a second ahead of Philpott, but we'll see what Philpott's 2nd time will do. He's about half a lap behind Henny on the track. So it sounds like he waited a while for the pack to go through. Yella Ooms has jumped up into 3rd place. And Ooms is not a name that we've heard in Missed Apex Motorsport for a while. He was quite prominent in the 1st season of the Formula Renault Challenge. We didn't see a lot of him last season. But at the moment, he hasn't seemed to have lost any of the magic. 4th place at the moment.
Yeah, closely followed by Luca Harrison as well in 5th place with a 2:11. And Danny Henny has just blitzed the time screens with a 2:11.1. And David Hatton as well.
Yeah, Hatton in 2nd place, less than 2 tenths behind them. So it looks like he waited to set a good time as well. Only 2 minutes left in this session, so probably only 1 lap left after this one for a lot of these guys.
David Hatton is definitely a big event man, isn't he? You know, he seems to be, he almost sandbags or just brings his total A game to the final qualifying session and puts himself right in the mix.
Top 10 at the moment is currently split by 7 tenths of a second, and that's Brian Boomsma in 10th place, who's rearing that guard.
Kyle Power lagging behind a little bit in 16th place on a 212.3. He's got a bit of work to do.
Philpott's 2nd effort was a 2:11.2, so still a 10.5 behind Henny. And he's about to put his 3rd lap in. He's just coming up towards the bus stop chicane now, and we'll get one more go at it before the checkered flag. And so you would assume Philpott will get the same.
Yep, Philpott got a lovely slipstream down the Kemmel Straight, and then the guy in front spun off through Les Combes. So that was kind of perfect for him because it means he didn't have to overtake them through the twisty bit. So he might be on for a good lap here.
Henny lowers the benchmark 2-minute 10.8 and is now 3.5 tenths clear of Luca Harrison, who's just gone into 2nd place. It's all jumbling around at the moment, isn't it? I suppose it depends on where you are on track and who's giving you a cheeky slipstream. Final 30 seconds left on the clock. We'll just make sure. Actually, I don't think Philpott is going to get another lap in. This is going to be his last effort. He may have mistimed this because he's going to get 1 lap less than Henny. He's just coming out of Curve Paul Frere now with 15 seconds left on the clock. I think he's going to make it.
Yep, he won't make it to the start line, so this is his final attempt. It's been a relatively clean lap. I've been riding on board with him. And to say he got that slipstream to it, this could be the one, but he's got to improve by nearly a half a second to be able to get on that pole position.
So we are down to the checkered flag and the last few times coming in as Philpott comes out of the final corner. This is his last attempt. Is it enough to get onto provisional pole? It is! Oh, by half a tenth of a second. So now all eyes on Danny Henny. He is just now coming out of Curve Paul Frere for his final attempt. So can he snatch pole position away from Philpott? Keep an eye on Luca Harrison as well, because if that's the car in front of Danny, he's getting a great slipstream, I think, from the car in front of him. So he might be able to snatch something in the dying moments of qualifying. They're both clear the slower car there. And Henny has caught up to Luke. Oh no, Luke has dropped it! And that he's collected Henny. Henny will not be on pole position for this race. Carl Power has to avoid the drama as well. And all that means Bradley Philpott is on pole position.
Oh, that was some late drama, wasn't it, Chris? I think
that was worth the wait.
They took each other out. So, they've done that before in the race, but in qualifying, we haven't seen anything quite that dramatic before.
I think Danny is going to be a bit miffed about that because he probably did have the pace. It was only half a tenth of a second. And despite Philpott maybe mistiming the session a little bit, getting 1 lap less than Henny, he's been able to take pole position. But Danny did actually say to me earlier, I probably don't want to be on pole position. Maybe second or third will be best because of the long run out of La Source down the Kemmel Straight. That's really where we're going to start to see the racing action where it's going to decide. David Hatton, by the way, just popped himself up into 3rd place. So he joins Luca Harrison on the 2nd row of the grid. That looks like a very tasty top 5.
It does. And hopefully we're joined in the commentary booth by pole sitter Brad Philpott. Brad, what do you make of what Danny said about the pole position? How important do you think it is today?
Hey guys, I wasn't expecting to get to speak to you. This is cool. Yeah, you're right. You don't really want to be at the front going down the Kemmel Straight, but there's no guarantee that I will be. So at least when you're on pole, you can kind of dictate who comes past you and who doesn't if you're leading after turn 1.
Well, you may not have seen it, but Danny Henny and who was it? It was Luca. They crashed into each other at the final chicane just as they were about to see if they could depose you. So you are on pole position, and they'll be nipping at your heels right behind.
Yeah, I was not expecting a pole after I mistimed that qualifying session, but yeah, I'm happy that with 1 lap less, I still managed to do it. But I was watching with interest how Danny was getting on with Luca with the slipstream. But yeah, happy to start the season here.
Fantastic. Well, enjoy the first race, and we might chat to you afterwards.
Thanks, guys. Have a good race.
Brad Philpott returning to Missed Apex Motorsport and securing his first pole position in a while, since the first season of the Missed Apex Formula Renault Challenge. He has been absent, admittedly doing far more important things than racing with us, doing, professional stuff. But picking up where he left off.
It has been fantastic to watch Brad in his various exploits around the virtual globe, I suppose, Chris. He's been racing pretty much everything he can get his hands on.
Absolutely. Doing so much. So let's run you through the grid. It is Brad Philpott on pole position with Danny Henny, the defending champion, alongside him. The Season 1 champion, David Hatton, in 3rd. Then Luca Harrison in 4th. Alex Van Gien, 5th. Gregory Leader in 6th. Carl Power up in 7th place, the 3rd of the panelists. Brian Boomsma getting a top 8. Alexander Dobbsberger, we were looking at him for a provisional pole earlier in the session. He starts in 9th. John Lang In 10th place, Yellow Ooms 11th on his return to the series. Stephen Williams down in 12th. Probably expected a little bit more from him. Alex Josma 13th. Lucas Raskovitz in that fantastic black and gold livery 14th. Ishmael Basso in 15th. And we'll give you an update on some of the others. Richard Spanner's ready. He starts 21st. And Matt Trumpets is in 24th.
Speaking of Spanners, I think he's joined us in the commentary booth. How did you make of that session there, Spanners?
Absolute chaos, and no one realised that they were going to queue at the bus stop, but they were queuing all the way down to Blanchimont as well. Just super interesting. I just hope people have heeded our warnings to treat turn 1 like a double yellow. I'm just in here for somewhere quiet to hang out. Have a good race, guys.
Cheers, Spanners. So, 60 cars lined up on the grid, probably winding their way down towards the bus stop. 55 have made it to the start, apparently. Still a mightily impressive number. Philpott and Henny on the front row of the grid. Who are the giants of Missed Apex Motorsport going toe-to-toe at Spa-Francorchamps to kick off a brand new series. And we are green for a brand new championship, and it is Philpott who leads away. Henny tucking back in behind him in second place. Hatton defending away, trying to get into that third place. Van Gien right up in there as well. Harrison goes out wide on the exit of La Source and has to tuck in behind Van Gien in fourth place. Already a massive gap to the top two.
That was a cracking start from Van Gien. As you say, the top two are away, and Henny is drafting Philpott down the Kemmel Straight.
And we saw the difference in their top speeds during the practice races. Henny has got no problem with top end speed at the moment as he's drafting past Philpott. Philpott will still have the inside line though for Lecomte by half a car length and jams it back up the inside. And oh, they make contact! And Philpott out! Already at the first corner. Henny is out too. Alex Van Gien leads. Van Gien leads the field. I did not expect to be saying that. I knew this new championship was going to throw up some curveballs. But Alex Van Gien leads from Luca Harrison, Kyle Power, Brian Boomsma and David Hatton, the top five.
What drama that was. That was amazing. So Philpott was on the inside. I'm just watching the replay for you. Philpott stayed to the inside. He got on the curb and Henny just tucked in. He just kept his nose in there, Chris. It was front right wheel to rear left. Philpott maybe could have left him slightly more room, but just went round and just clipped off his front left wheel, and that was it for Philpott. He's gone.
Absolute drama at the front of the field, and Alex Van Gien, now the race leader, is desperately trying to hold on to that lead. Carl Power's gone backwards, meanwhile, while we were looking at that. Brian Boomsman's gone up to third place ahead of him at the Fania chicane, but it is Van Gien protecting his lead from Luca Harrison, who saw all of that unfold right in front of him. And I got to say, these guys did a very good job of navigating the field, especially as Henny was kind of... Oh, Van Gien's gone deep into the bus stop chicane. That's an open door for Luca Harrison. And, he's tagged Boomsma. Boomsma's round. Hatton sneaks through into second place. And I got to say that I was always a little bit clumsy down at the bus stop.
Oh, that wasn't safe, Alex. That wasn't safe. He just kept back onto the racing line. He should have maybe skipped the chicane and tried to gather his thoughts for the following straight. He's dropping back. He must have some damage to that front right wheel or certainly the end plate of his wing, because that was a fairly heavy clout there. I
imagine what he was trying to do was avoid the slowdown when you rejoin the track, because he would have been absolutely mugged down the straight. At least at the moment, he's kept a fourth place. So Luca Harrison, taking absolute advantage of that, is now 1.6 seconds clear of David Hatton, who in turn has got a nice handy gap over Carl Power, who's moving into third place. Look at John Lang getting up there on the inside as well. He's in that purple and I guess cyan car. That's just gone past Alex Van Gien for fourth place, and then Gregory Leader is just ahead of Yellow Ooms, and that kind of closes out this lead pack. Yellow Ooms in the lighter green Caterham colours.
Harrison's got a good lead now, and the more these guys squabble, the better it's going to be for him. He's going to be able to just pull that out. We'll see if David Hatton can start to reel that back in.
Yeah.
Although their pace in practice has been fairly similar, so I think if he's got a bit of a gap. Sorry, Chris.
Van Geen's gone off again. He was having a look at the inside of John Lang into the Fanier chicane. Got the braking all wrong. The rear end was twitching away, and he's lost even more places. He's down in 9th now as Andy Flagg goes past him in that pink car with the rainbow nose. And Lang getting a little bit of side-by-side again, this time with Gregory Leader. He's also got a new livery. It's the chrome, green and silver. Tucking in behind them. This is all going on for 4th place at the moment. Through Blanchimont, no hint of a lift. But it's Ooms looking around the outside and Leader looking around the outside as well.
And just a short way behind them, I'll give you an update on some of the panellists. So we've got Trumpets, who's giving Rich Molden, another one of our organisers, a really hard time there. Now they're coming down the start-finish straight as well for 14th and 15th place. Is he going to have a look into the source? No, he thinks better of it. But that is a great performance here from Trumpets. He could, if he stays roughly there, he could find himself in a great situation for the second race.
Lap 3 of 9 then. And I've got to say that gap up at the front of the field has sort of remained. It's 1.6 seconds. And David Atchie's got to be careful of car power behind them. But just behind them, John Lang battling away once again with Leader and Ooms. It looks like Ooms could be the one to make a move around the outside this time as Leader's boxed in. He's got a little bit deep into the corner, but he's made it stick around the outside of Lecom. Nice move. Oh, there was a bit of contact behind them at Lecom. It looked like Alex Van Geen could have been around that incident. I don't think he was in it.
I can bring Spanners into the commentary booth because he looks to be all by himself down at the back of the field. What happened to you, Spanners?
Oh, well, we really drilled home to people that if you have an off track, you've got to just wait and not have an unsafe rejoin. I got punted by an unsafe rejoiner, and as you can tell, I'm fine because there was enough people in the pits to have a little mini race with, but apparently collisions in the pit lane are a thing now, and someone wiped me out just as I was leaving the pit box. But it means that for the next race, I've got a nice, fun fight back from the bus stop.
Yeah, good luck for that second race, Spanners. I'll let you carry on your lonesome out there.
I'm fine.
Quite surprising to hear about the pit lane collisions, because I've certainly never had that. Once you're in the pit lane, anyway, I've had it when you're racing for position going into the pits. Now, this battle for 4th place is not letting up, and Ooms is about to make another move. Lang defending as they go towards the bus stop chicane, and Ooms thinks better of it. Around the outside, and Leader will try and find a way back through as well, and reclaim the position he lost earlier this lap. Top 3 pulling away. Fastest lap of the race from David Hatton. He has closed that gap by 0.2 of a second. We're a third of the way through this race now. It's going to be a matter of Luca making a mistake, I think. So if David can put some pressure on the young teenage racer, and I do mean teenage, I think he's still 14 years old, and he does impress us really with his driving amongst much more mature and experienced competitors. Looking back to 4th place again, side by side once again, Lang and Ooms about to do the dance down the Kemmel Straight, and once again Lang positioning his car beautifully. And can Ooms make it around the outside again of Lecom? He did this a lap ago. He can't make it work this time, though.
And that's brought Leader right in because they managed to slow each other up. Leader's going to go to the outside, see if he can sneak somewhere through.
Lang didn't have a great run out of Malmedy, and he's had to leave the door open. Oh, they do make contact! And that's put Lang round and Ooms out of contention. Gregory Leader says, thank you very much. I'm in 4th place. And Lang has, he's lost his front right corner, so he is out of contention. He'll have to tow back to the pits. So Kyle, he was 0.7 of a second behind David about a lap ago. That gap's gone out to 1.4 seconds now, so it's pretty equidistant between our top 3 runners, and they're both running in pretty good pace. David, as we mentioned, set the fastest lap of the race last time round, which was a 2:11.3. That was versus Luca on a 2:11.6. He was the slowest of the trio because Carl was a 10th quicker as well. So fascinating to see how that is going to play out later on.
The closest battle on track at the moment is Alex Van Gien defending heavily from Ed Shelley down into the final corner, and also now attacking Andy Flagg as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So Van Gien's not short on entertainment tonight.
He's never short on entertainment, is he?
Well, yeah, I think he records these races as well, and you can watch him on his YouTube channel after the stream. Van Gien blinking in and out a little bit there. Apologies for that, but Flagg was very impressive last season in Formula Renault Challenge, and I've been really excited to see how he carries over into the Formula 3. And he is a very quick driver, and he's proving that absolutely at the moment.
He can't miss his livery either, so he's made a bit of a mistake coming up at Eau Rouge, and that has given Van Gien the run.
Yeah, absolutely, straight through, and now he's got to not let Flagg back through because he's tucked back into the slipstream. Although I think he's got it covered. Is that Van Gien? I didn't quite see the top speeds, but it could well be that Van Gien is running a lower downforce setting than Flagg, and that's why he was able to breeze past him so easily.
Yeah, I was just having a look back. He had a couple of miles an hour on him. He was at 160 at the end of the straight, whereas Flagg only got to 157, and that was in the slipstream, Chris.
Oh, okay, so definitely a bit of difference in top-end performance there.
You'd hopefully then see Flagg manage to keep it really nailed through the middle sector, as we were saying earlier on, and maybe have a go at him into the bus stop next time round.
Could well be. He'll have to, get the run through this chicane at Fagnier, and then the run out of Stavelot. But even then, probably from this distance, it's going to be hard for him to haul it back in. Because even with the slipstream, he's not quicker in a straight line than Van Gien. That's the real difficulty that you've got to face with the higher downforce package. I've got to say, there's a nice train developing behind him. Shelley a few tenths back. Ellis just in the back of this queue as well. Lucas Raskovitz in 9th place, 2 seconds behind them. And Richard Molden is in 10th place at the moment. He's doing a fine job out there.
He is, and it looks like Trumpets, who was having a battle with him, seems to have dropped it somewhere. I might see if we can try and get any information out of him.
Van Gien once again has gone deep into the bus stop chicanes, put Flagg right back on his tail. Nothing he can do about it down the front straight, though, and we'll see what kind of run he gets out of La Source and through Eau Rouge. Got to try and get the overhaul on him, really, because we know Alex is quick in a straight line. Flying up Eau Rouge, no less impressive in one of these cars. And he is tucked right into that slipstream, so we'll see what the top speed performance is. Pretty level pegging. He's not able to close in, really. In fact, Van Gien's still got 6k on him down that straight, and that was with Flagg having the slipstream.
Yeah, that's the power of the low downforce setup. Even with a great run on him, he still wasn't able to make any indent on him down the straight. That's a pretty awesome weapon Van Gien's got in his arsenal there.
So this is the part of the circuit where Andy is going to be quicker. He is closer to Alex this time round.
He's going to have to get inventive and try and overtake him somewhere else that isn't down one of those long straights.
Yeah, I think Fagnier is probably the best shot. Overtaking into Rivage can be pretty tricky, and overtaking into Pouhon can be suicidal. So probably the Fagnier chicane is where we're going to be looking for that move. But he hasn't made it on this occasion, so he's probably going to have to sit back once again, hope Alex goes deep into the bus stop again, maybe, and pick up the pieces. Luca Harrison edging out that gap, by the way. 2:11.1 last time around. And he's actually just about to come across the line and start lap 7. David was 3 tenths quicker than him on that previous lap, but still the gap is about 1.4 seconds. And Kyle managed to match Hatton on that particular occasion, so yeah, nothing doing up at the front at the moment, which is just really interesting. I expected there to be a bit of A bit more ebb and flow, but certainly they're pushing each other to the limit, aren't they?
They are, and they've kept those gaps pretty level pegging, I think. One who's surprising for me is Alex Dobertsberger, who's dropped down to 22nd, who's actually having a bit of a battle with Trumpets at the moment. Him and his Ace of Spades livery has dropped right back down the field again.
Comment in the chat room says, I put the commentator's curse on Alex Van Gien when I said he was first, now running in 5th place. Well, it could be true. Do get your comments in. We do enjoy reading them during the stream. Now, see the gap that Van Gien has pulled on Flag just by going down the Kemmel Straight and his extra speed. That's the advantage you get with the low downforce package.
Yep, and Flag's actually got to look out behind him now. I think Van Gien's managed to break it a little bit, and he's got Ed Shelley just behind with that Marmite livery. I love it, personally. And then you've got Tim Ellis in that Jaguar livery just behind as well, so he's going to come under a bit of pressure in the next couple of laps.
And we've got a bit of lap traffic to contend with as well now. Hopefully they can navigate it safely. Yep, he's just pulled clean off the track. Probably the wise decision. Now you see, Flag was a second behind Van Gien going into Rivage corner, and he's halved that gap coming out of Stavelot. This ebb and flow between these two setups is just fascinating.
It is, but just sorry to jump in there, Chris. David Hatton has halved the gap in front of him, and I think it's Spanners they were just trying to navigate there, so he's getting very close, and is actually well within the slipstream now, going to go into the first part of the lap, so this could get dicey.
Harrison didn't have a fantastic run. He lost another 2/10 to Hatton just coming out of that final chicane. So 2 laps to go and only half a second between Harrison at the front and David Hatton in 2nd place. This could be a bit of a showdown finale to the first race of the iRacing F3 Cup. Up Eau Rouge. Now, we haven't had a chance to compare these guys' top speeds, and it looks like... well, Hatton has the slipstream, so you'd expect him to be quicker, and he currently is by about 5 or 6 Ks. So he is closing that one down. He's right with him now as they go into Les Combes. Let's see how they compare in the middle sector as well. Luca looks like he's struggling a little bit, actually. Was just wagging his tail a little bit in the middle of the Les Combes chicane.
I can't see any damage on his car, but he was navigating back markers, so maybe he's cooked his tyres going round somebody. But this is setting up for a final lap battle here, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's gone very, very wide. Now, I think that will get you a 1X going out that wide at the no-name left-hander. And he's gone wide again in Pouon. That's going to be another X. So maybe he's just pushing his luck now to try and open up the gap to Hatton. And he has done so by a couple of tenths of a second. So I've heard about the top guys using strategic 1Xs. Just so that, I need to protect my place, so I'll run a little bit wide out of Stavelot. So that's exactly what they've both done just then.
Oh, he was so close to dipping a wheel into the gravel there. There was millimetres in that, but that has given him that little bit of a gap. As you say, I think David and him are running very similar downforce levels, so in the slipstream he'll probably have a couple of miles an hour on him. But this is coming into the final lap, Chris, into the bus stop chicane.
He's hauling him in a little bit by 1/10, 2/10 down this straight. Is he going to be close enough? No, not into the bus stop. So it's going to come down to the final lap. Young Luca Harrison defending for all his worth against the inaugural Formula Renault Challenge champion, and all of his experience in karting and in iRacing. He's looking towards the inside, trying to throw Luca off a little bit, but that's not going to work on him. He's really backed him up at La Source, didn't he? It was almost went into the back of him, but I don't think it's worked for him because Hatton's right with him. I think he's probably backing out of the throttle so he doesn't overtake him before Eau Rouge. Climbing up the hill.
Parking on the apex there was a mistake because Hatton is right underneath his rear wing there. He's probably going to be able to... Where's he going to go? To the outside, Chris?
This is the moment. Luca's covering the inside. Hatton thought about trying to squeeze through a gap that wasn't quite there. And Hatton is on the outside towards Les Combes. We've seen people been able to make that move work. Can Hatton make it work? He breaks deep and goes around the outside and claims the lead on the final lap. Has Luca Harrison got any kind of a rebuttal for him? He's got a good run out of Malmedy. Is Hatton going to be able to close the door by the time they get down to Rivage? He's looking towards the inside. Hatton's going to have to leave him some space. It was very squirrely, under braking, and they're still side by side on the exit of the corner. Hatton has got the line into this no-lane left-hander, and he just pushes Harrison out wide. He's overtaking him off the track. Oh, I wonder how that's going to go down in race control.
That is a little bit controversial. He was give him some credit for really sticking it to him there, but he's got to hold on for it to matter.
I wonder if Hatton wants to be the car behind, because there's another great slipstreaming opportunity coming up out of Stavolo. It's going to come down to the bus stop chicane, I think, this one. So Harrison has just a fraction over Hatton at the moment. Hatton's gone through the gravel, just dipped 2 wheels off the track. They were both absolutely pushing it. I don't think he's lost too much momentum, though. This is it. This is the final moment. One braking zone to go. And we know Hatton is no stranger to brave overtakes. Is he about to put one on here around the outside of Blanchimont? He's thinking about it. He's trying to make it work. Up on the curb. That's going to give him the inside line for this bus stop chicane. This could be the crucial moment. Braking down the inside. Harrison tries to brave it out. He has got the line. Is he just going to shove Hatton out? They both spin! Power's going to win!
Power coming through for the win!
I don't believe it! I don't believe it! Power takes it! Kyle Power takes the first F3 win! Hatton gets second. Gregory Leader third. Harrison comes home. I don't believe it, Chris.
That was incredible. Kyle, how did that look from your viewpoint?
Pretty amazing, to be honest. To say, I'm running really low downforce, so I really struggle in the middle sector. So I saw them fight. Again, it's a bit like my win at Silverstone. I've just had it handed to me. Again, I'm quite a lucky chap, I guess. But yeah, they just spun in unison. I have to say, I'll give them a 5.9 for style for both of them. It was nice synchronization in the spinning. And yeah, the seas parted and I just cruised on through.
They did. You had to go through the tyre smoke, though. I bet that was a little bit hairy for you, Kyle.
Yes, it was, but luckily I could see their cars either side, and the way they were spinning, it just looked like the gap. It was it was almost biblical how the seas opened for me there.
Perfect. So currently you are the championship leader.
Well, did not expect that. Very fortunate, and I'll assure you it won't last for long.
Excellent. Have fun in race 2.
I knew this was going to be a good race. How many leaders lost out in the end? We had about 6 different leaders in that race.
That's not even to mention the first lap drama between Philpott and Henny. What an incredible race.
That's just... It won't happen anywhere else, will it? That's just incredible. So Kyle Power, the first winner in the iRacing F3 Cup. That's a moment in Mr. Apex Motorsport history. David's going to be kicking himself, and Luca too. I don't believe it. Gregory Leader picks up the podium. Van Gien did get 5th in the end. Something happened to John Lang while we were watching all that unfold. He's dropped out of the top 20, really, so something must have happened to him. Edward Shelley did get 6th. Tim Ellis 7th. Lucas Raskowitz came home in 8th. Richard Molden in 9th place. Well done, sir. Oh, my timing screen's just updated. And I now see Molden in 8th. But either way, well done, sir. That's fantastic. Anil Singh in 9th and Jack Weddle at the top 10. And so it looks like it's going to be Nicholas Carladal, a new entrant into Mr. Apex Motorsport, who's going to be on pole for the first of 2 reverse grid races. I think we could do with a break after that one, Chris.
That's going to be a baptism of fire for him, especially if it's anywhere near as dramatic as race 1.
Absolutely. A couple of quick guys up in there, but we will update you when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Race 2 coming up shortly. Welcome back to Spa-Francorchamps. We've just about recovered from the showdown finale that we just saw of probably the most dramatic finish in Missed Apex Motorsport history. Very much like the very first Formula E race where the two leaders came together and Degrassi ended up winning it. And you guys in the chat room absolutely loved that one. So do keep your comments coming in. And now there was another controversy in that race, and that was Brad Philpott and Danny Henney. We expected them to be going hammer and tongs all race long, and that battle didn't even last the first lap as they made contact at Les Combes. And apparently we could have some netcoding issues. What say you, Brad Philpott?
Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, it's a shame. I'm not disappointed that I didn't get a good finish. I'm disappointed we missed out on a good fight there because me and Danny were very closely matched. But yeah, we had netcode. We both gave each other room. We didn't actually touch. We were about 2 feet apart. But iRacing decided we did touch, and that caused a crash.
Now, a cynic might say otherwise, Brad. But no, in all seriousness, like iRacing has had a few netcode issues lately, so it's a shame we missed out on this one. But what do you think you can do in race 2?
So this is going to be my first time coming through the pack like this. I've had to decide on which setup to use, which is going to be best for overtaking, and I'm looking forward to trying to weave my way through. But honestly, it's going to depend on how many accidents there are ahead and whether or not I can avoid them.
So which direction have you gone for this time?
I can't tell you because I'll let on to my rivals. So, but you'll see. You'll see pretty quickly.
All right. We'll keep an eye on those top speeds. Good luck for race 2.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. See you later.
Cheers. So we're just in the warm-up session at the moment while we get the next race prepared and we make sure everybody's loaded in, so people can do pretty much whatever they want. But it also gives us a chance to reflect on what we've just seen and what we got coming up. And what we have coming up next is the first of 2 top 20 reverse grid races. And I can tell you that it is Corladol, the debutante, on pole position for this one. Now, the last time we saw, was it Stefan Froelich at Watkins Glen, and he ended up getting like 6th place or something. So could be good for him. We have got some familiar names just behind them. Clark, Adam Preston, and Alexander Dobbelsberger starting in 4th place. Watch out for him. He's surely got to be a hot tip for the win. Andrew Sexton in the top 5. James Wingfield right up in there as well. He's a very quick guy. Gary Thomas, Luke Critchley, John Langan, and Andy Flagg. That's going to be the top 10. And of course, Carl Power, having just won the first race, he'll be starting in 20th. And then Hatton, Leader, and Harrison, so on and so forth. Now, we've seen a few dramas in these race 2 starts lately, Chris, especially towards the end of the Formula Renault Challenge. Do you think we'll see a little bit more of that here in a few minutes' time?
I think we might. Just speaking of Leader, I actually hopefully have him on the line. We're getting a lot of calls from the YouTube live chat to get you on, Gregory. So tell us a little bit about your race. Oh, that's such a shame. They were clamouring to chat to him, but it seems to be AFK at the moment. So we'll see if we can get him back on later. Just to go for your question, Chris, you know, there's with 60 cars around here, it's not the widest of circuits. It's almost inevitable you're going to get something. What I'm really hopeful that we don't get is a Spa 98 situation where you have somebody at the front tangle and it takes out a load of cars behind them, because, you know, that ruins a lot of people's races, and it may throw up an interesting result, but you know, that's not what you're looking for.
No, absolutely not. We do enjoy seeing the good battle, and hopefully, well, I guess this is an incentive for Philpott to come back and have another go at the second round. And yeah, we're doing something interesting with that, because we're not really revealing the calendar too much to stop people practicing so much. So we're going to keep those details. We're going to keep them stum until we absolutely have to. And hopefully that's going to mean even more competitive racing. Grid is being formed for race 2. First reverse grid race of the new season. And, well, yeah, we can expect fireworks again. I would say keep eyes on Alexander Dobertsberger. Adam Preston's been quite quick. James Wingfield as well. Andy Flagg inside that top 10. And, of course, we will follow closely Power Hatton, Leader, and Harrison and co. coming back through the field. Now, it says here that Harrison is going to be starting in 22nd place. I wonder if he picked up some sort of post-race penalty. So that's Nicholas Carladal in the sort of baby blue and baby pink number 77 car on pole position on the left-hand side. Adrian Clark in sort of rainbow colours in second place. Adam Preston running his sort of team colours there is with yellow and black. We've got the red lights on for the first of 2 reverse grid races at Spa-Francorchamps. We are away, and Carladale gets a good start. It's Preston looking up the inside of Clark towards La Source. Dobertsberger trying to keep his nose clean for now. Clark goes the long way round, and actually Preston doesn't get a great exit out of La Source. Dobertsberger goes straight into third place. Actually looked like a pretty clean start.
Yeah, all the way down the field, it looks pretty good. There was a couple of nudges here and there. I'm watching Van Gien. He's going through Eau Rouge, and he's kept it clean, as is Carl Power. So it's all good back here, Chris.
So Dobertsberger making his move for second place. Goes around the outside. He'll have the slipstream from Carladal as well as they go towards Les Combes, and he'll break around the outside. And that's always, he's going to have to fight for it because Clark wanted to make it difficult for him. James Wingfield making manoeuvres as well. He's tucked up right behind Clark as well now. So 2 good starts for Dobertsberger and Wingfield.
I say it's all clean, but one driver who's not kept it clean is Bradley Philpott, who has lost a front wheel. So he is once again out of it, trying to come through that field. That's a shame.
That is a shame. And, it's no reflection on Brad's skill, really. This is just, it's 55 drivers of very varying ability, and contact is inevitable at some point. But it looks like the rest of our front runners from the last race did get away cleanly. And Dobertsberger just half a second away from Nicholas Carladal for the lead. And obviously James Wingfield trying to get his way onto the podium as well, tucked up right behind Adrian Clark in that very smart and recognisable red and yellow car. Preston defending away from Gary Thomas, another driver who has a pretty standout livery with the bright yellow pattern on the black, and he's actually going past Preston towards the inside of Blanchimont. Up at the front though, Dobertsberger is about to make the move for the lead. Down the inside towards the bus stop chicane, and Wingfield makes the same manoeuvre and gets into third place as well. So, end of lap 1.
I've got some news for you, Chris. One person who's making an absolutely massive impact is Danny Henney. He's just overtaken Kyle Power. He's in the top 20 already. He's in 12th position as they cross the 15th position as they cross the line.
Wow. Okay, so keep an eye out for him. Maybe with such a huge pace, looking at top 10, top 5 podium, who knows? We have seen Danny making extraordinary recovery drives in the past, so I wouldn't put it past him to make another one today. So Dobertsberger just weaving his way down the Kemmel Straight, trying to break that slipstream for Carladal. Wingfield having to defend his third place now from Adrian Clark towards Les Combes, and does successfully do so. Just behind them is all sorts going off as John Langing and Andrew Sexton, Adam Preston and Andy Flagg are battling away over 6th place.
There was a massive accident at the top of the hill, and Henny's lost a wheel, Power's lost a wheel, and so has Van Gien as well. So they've all gone.
Well, hopefully we can take a closer look at what happened in there. And that's, again, commentator's curse on Henny. That's twice in one night. Gary Thomas was looking around the outside of Adrian Clark for 4th place towards Fania, but he did think better of it. Well, tuck back in. I gotta say, Gary's livery does remind me of Kyle's old one, which was the Red Bull camo, black and white one, but just with yellow on it instead.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's kind of got the Lando Norris's current helmet design with the glitched stuff on there. It's kind of evoking that for me. Our top panelist at the moment is Matt Trumpets. He's managed to keep it clean. He's in P14 right now. He is pressuring John Lang.
Oh, bit of contact in that battle for 7th place we were mentioning. It's John Langen, who's come together with Andrew Sexton. Apologies, not Sexton, but definitely contact down the bus stop, and that's dropped Langen out of that battle. It was with Gary Thomas, who's just made his way back to the pits.
Speaking of the pits, there's a lot of back markers just coming out of the pit lane. They came right into the path of the leaders. I think Dobbelsberger managed to get away well, and he's 1.6 seconds clear of Nicholas Carladal and James Wingfield in third. They've got a bit of a gap, but they're all trying to just negotiate their way through the plethora of back markers.
I mean, with respect to Carladal at the moment, I know we're only on lap 3, but he's only 1.8 seconds behind Dobbelsberger, who, you know, has been a race winner in the Formula Renault Challenge. And so far, still over a second ahead of James Wingfield, who has also won races. So an impressive debut so far.
Yeah, I think keeping it clean is the hardest thing to do on this circuit and with this number of cars. So that is an impressive effort.
There's so many back markers coming through the back. It's hard to actually keep abreast of what's going on. But Tim Ellis looks like he's making moves forward. He's in 7th place at the moment, looking at the back of Andy Flagg. Ellis in that classic Jaguar HSBC livery, and Flagg in the pink car with the rainbow nose on it. Currently only 0.8 of a second between them.
My apologies if the timing screens have gone a bit mad for you. I'm just looking back through the field. We got Spanners back in 18th place, so he's making his way through the field as well. Just a few places behind Trumpets. Let's see if he can catch him up before the end of the race.
Yep, that'll be one to watch out for. Spanners and Trumpets obviously have a very long history of competition in esports, in karting. And it's the honours of the Missed Apex panel at the moment.
So Henny, despite losing a wheel as well, he is still back on the track. He's in P34, but he has made it back onto the circuit. So every point counts in this championship, Chris, because you get points right down the field.
Yep, up to I think probably P35. I think they go down to. Not sure if that's been adjusted for the additional entrants, but definitely there's always worth something fighting for. Give a quick shout out to Richard Molden, just taken 8th place away from Adam Preston. And I'll tell you, he's not bad in these Formula 3 cars, I have to say. And he has given me a run for my money, especially at tracks like Sebring, which he loves.
Considering the amount of work that man does to put on these events and to organise everything, it's amazing how he can get into the zone and just absolutely go for it during the races, because I'd be thinking about all sorts of other things. It doesn't take much to distract me. But he's cracking on.
Him and Sam are help putting on this whole event in race control, in making the sessions, in organising them and everything, and then just jump in the car and go. And he does a fine job of it, and got a great top 10 finish. And he's having a fight for this 8th place now, actually, because Preston's coming back at him towards the bus stop chicane. Although it's successfully defended on this occasion. A little bit deep into the corner, probably a little bit offset. Oh no! From second place, Carl Adal has dropped it out of the chicane. Oh, that's awful for him. He was running in second place, and he's dropped well out of there now, down in 11th, coming under pressure from Trumpets, actually, who zooms past.
I've just reviewed the footage. Unfortunately, he just clipped the curb and on the power on the exit, just completely just dropped it on the power. That is such a shame for him. He was doing so well.
Yeah. So that just leaves Dobertsberger up front by 5.5 seconds to James Wingfield now, who doesn't have that much over Adrian Clark. It's only half a tenth of a second between them for second place, and Gary Thomas is only 1.6 seconds behind them as well.
Yeah, and Clark has been closing on Wingfield. It was a couple of seconds last time I checked. So actually this is going to be a developing battle for P2. I think Dobertsberger, as long as he doesn't drop it by himself, I think he's clear. He's, as you said, 5.5 seconds clear. That's a good gap for him. But Clark is definitely wheeling in Wingfield.
Clark was the quickest of the top three last time round, and 0.3 quicker than Wingfield. Although I wonder if he has gone for that higher downforce, or the lower downforce, I should say, because he's just dropped back from Wingfield in this middle sector. Preston and Malden still going hammer and tongs, by the way. 0.2 of a second between them, and it's going to be Preston in the slipstream as they come out of Stavelot.
He looked to the inside. That is not a place that you want to be showing your nose, although he has put Malden offline slightly, so that might give him a run into the chicane.
The back marker, they're just having to move aside. Thought one of them might catch a cheeky slipstream off of him, but no such luck. Now look at this. Preston is 6k slower than Malden down the straight, so he's definitely got more downforce on that car than Malden, and he's definitely using that to his advantage at the moment to maintain that 7th place. I'll tell you, the pack is closing in on James Wingfield, I think, because Clark did drop a couple of tenths, but Gary Thomas was half a second quicker. He's now within a second of them, and Flagg was even quicker than them. He was another 4 tenths quicker. I think our eyes should be on Andy Flagg at the moment in 5th place, and look at it, he's hauling in Gary Thomas down the Kemmel Straight. And I'll tell you why, because he's running the low downforce package. He's got so much more straight line speed. Wasn't quite close enough to have a run into Lake Como on that particular occasion, but with 3 and a bit laps to go, we could be seeing Andy Flagg making some moves here.
He is. He's really got that car dialed in, and he's not losing that much time through the middle sector, so he could well be on for a podium place if he manages to clear Thomas quickly, although he's dropped back a bit here. But as you say, he's got such a straight line speed advantage that he's surely going to get past him this lap.
If he can just keep with Gary down the next few corners, a little bit wide out of Pouhon, but that's it's not too much. You do lose a little bit of momentum getting out on that curb. If you can just stick with him, he'll surely haul him in out of Curve Paul Frere. So this is the exit of this next corner is the important one, out of Stavelot. Getting on the power here as you're flat out through this next right-hander and all the way back up the hill. Another back marker having to be cleared there. And yeah, Gary Thomas is not getting any slipstream help really from Clark ahead of him. So this is the opportunity for Flagg, who gets a push off the circuit there. That was a little bit rude, and just keeping him in front on this occasion.
I would call that firm but fair, Chris. That was a very slamming of the door there.
Yeah.
But he's got to have another try, surely up the Kemmel Straight this time.
Yeah, he'll have a cracking run surely out of La Source, as long as he gets it out of the corner cleanly. And Tim Ellis is coming to join the fight as well. There he is in the HSBC Jaguar Green. So coming back up Eau Rouge in this battle for 4th place. And I tell you, while they're doing this, Clark and Wingfield aren't getting away. And there's Flag. He's made his move now. Pulls out of the slipstream, and he probably drags straight clear of him by the time they get down to Lecom. He has. What's Thomas got? Under braking? Not enough. So that's Flag up into 4th place now. His next target will be Adrian Clark, car number 81, with the rainbow colours on his. It'll be the rainbow nose on Andy Flagg's car versus the rainbow colours of Adrian Clark. 1 second up the road, and then can he haul in James Wingfield for 2nd place as well? That's the question.
2 laps to go, Chris. I think you've got Adrian Clark is his realistic target, I would say here. Maybe a podium finish. From your stat sheet that you screwed up and chucked in the bin, has Andy Flagg had a podium position in the Formula Renaults?
Yes, I believe Flagg got his first podium at the last round. I think he had 2 podiums at Interlagos.
There you go. So if he's going to start off this championship as he finished the last one, that's a very strong position for him, and he's showing great pace here.
Absolutely. And once again was the fastest out of this leading pack. 2 minutes 12.3, 3 tenths quicker than Clark. And that was kind of despite the little shove and probably having to back out of the manoeuvre. Gary Thomas is coming back at him. That's unexpected. So able to defend it, braking nicely up the inside of the bus stop chicane. I wonder if he just didn't quite get the run he needed. Well, I'll take Gary Thomas didn't quite get the run he needed off of the bus stop chicane, because there goes Tim Ellis. He's about to pass him into 5th place. Up the outside line for the Source. Hey, Rob goes around the outside. Has to go wide though, and probably Thomas will tuck back in on him. Oh, Ellis has got it done. Oh, we've got the back marker to contend with. You're going to pass him going into Eau Rouge. Oh, not quite. Oh, up at the top of the hill though. Get the slipstream off of him and go straight through. It was a little bit more complicated than it needed to be, and once again Thomas not giving up. Oh, he chops across the nose of the back marker to get the inside line for Lecom and takes that position straight back.
That was great defending. He, as you say, got a double slipstream there and allowed him just to fling it in that little gap and keep the inside line. So that was a great move from him. Andy Flagg not making much inroads in Adrian Clark in front of him. He's still 0.8 of a second behind, which is where it was at the beginning of the previous lap. But Clark is actually hauling in Wingfield faster. He's only half a second behind.
Mortara-esque from Gary Thomas there. I don't know if anybody else saw the clip of Mortara dicing between 2 cars in the first Formula E race last month.
Yeah, that was that was incredible, especially with the walls so close. Yeah, that was millimeters from an airplane crash, that one.
They're dropping back from Andy Flagg, though, with all this squabbling. 1.2 seconds back. And yeah, like you said, Flagg, he was still 4 tenths quicker on that previous lap. Although I think we're about to see the pace come in. It seems like this is where Flagg's been making up his time. And Clark, once again, close to Wingfield for 2nd place. I wonder if Wingfield goes defensive towards the bus stop. So no way through. Flagg's right with him now. It's on for the podium. And Alexander Dobbelsberger has just started his final lap of the race. 8.8 tenths of a second clear of this battle for 2nd place, which is what we're going to be watching for the last 7 kilometres of this race. And Clark has gone out wide into La Source, and that's given Flagg the run he needs. And he'll be side by side with him coming down the hill towards Eau Rouge. Oh, surely one of them's going to back out here. I don't think we're quite ready for this. Yeah, Flagg decides better of it. Tucks back into the slipstream, and he'll try and pounce on him down the Kemmel Straight. That could well have just put James Wingfield out of touch. Just behind them, Tim Ellis also making his move on Gary Thomas, but all eyes on Clark and Flagg for the final spot on the podium. Flagg has found the inside line towards Lecom, breaks up the inside, and he's found himself in 3rd place. And Ellis also did make that move on Gary Thomas for 5th place, just behind them as well. So 2 moves in that same corner. Yeah,
Flagg thought twice about going to the inside line. He thought he was going to defend a bit harder than that. But he's, oh, and I was about to say Clark is going to have a go back at him, but he got a bit squirrely out that corner, which has put him under pressure from Tim Ellis, who's just behind him.
Ellis has got the run. Have to back out a little bit early towards Pouon, actually. So could well be another place gain for Tim Ellis in a moment. So Wingfield 3/4 of a second ahead of Flag. I think he's got that one settled. Clark wide again, this time into the Fania chicane. Tim Ellis couldn't take advantage of it. Looking up the inside towards Stavilo. That's an interesting one, and that's put Clark well out of position on the exit of the corner. And this is going to go right down to the bus stop again, and it's Ellis in the slipstream. Gary Thomas with the double slipstream. Dobertsberger, meanwhile, breaking towards the bus stop chicane. And he is about to take his first victory in the Formula 3 Cup. Absolutely untouched all race long. Wingfield, it's very close for second place actually, because Flag was having a look around the outside of the bus stop, but Wingfield just about manages to hold on to it. And Ellis, he gets 4th place.
He threw it down the inside into the bus stop chicane, and that was a classic overtake there. So final lap heartbreak there for Clark from 3rd to 5th.
And there was a little bit of drama. I saw someone went spinning. Not sure if it was a back marker or not, but certainly some more last corner drama down there. So it was Clark in 5th, Gary Thomas 6th. Richard Molden did get 7th place. Well done to him. Lucas Raskowitz in 8th. Adam Preston 9th. And John Lang, the top 10. Richard Spanner's ready as well. 11th place.
I've heard he's good, that lad.
Hey, not bad.
How'd it look from your end, guys? A very exciting race. What happened to Danny, Kyle, Brad and Van Gene all together?
Yeah, pretty mental stuff. I think that was just the race 2 drama coming into to fruition. How was it from your end?
Yeah, actually it was pretty calm. I started down in 50th place and just a few bus stop incidents. Really slow down, see what's happening and pick a gap. And unfortunately, I think Trumpets dropped off as well, didn't he? He was a victim of a bus stop exit.
Yeah, we did lose him. We were wondering if you were going to close him down.
I wasn't going to, for the record. He would have beaten me if he'd have survived.
Fair enough. So we're going to get ready for race 3 in a minute. Just a quick side note: 6 different people on the podium so far tonight in 2 different races. Can we go 9 for 9? We're going to find out soon. Welcome back to Spa-Francorchamps. We're about to go green for the final championship race of the night. It's another top 20 reverse grid race, and it's two rookies on the front row. So if we haven't had enough drama already tonight, I think we're about to get even more. I got to say, we've got people like Mark Greenhouse standing up there in the top three, but my eyes are going to be on Stephen Williams starting in 8th place, as well as one Mr. Richard Spanners Ready starting in 10th after his 11th place finish in the previous race, Chris.
Yeah, and he started down in P50, so that was a monumental climb. I think the key for these reverse grid races is just to keep your nose clean.
Easier said than done when there's 55 cars on the grid and a very tight hairpin to greet you at turn 1. But definitely I see the name of the game and your intent there.
It is, and even the best of them, Phil Pott and Henny and Van Gien and Kyle Power all got taken out in that second race. So it is all to play for, and does give those guys, those rookies up the top end of the grid, a little bit of a chance at good points.
So this is a quote-unquote title defense for Henny, even though this is a different series technically. He is our defending champion. That's the Formula Renault Challenge winner. And so far, it's not been a great defense. Has it? If he's had a top 35 finish, now I imagine he's had some points on the board, but you only get one drop round for this season, and could well be this one.
Yeah, I would pretty much say it will be this one with two very low scores. I think he did just about manage to sneak into the points in this one, but it'll be a pitiful number of points that he got compared to what he's used to. So I think you've really got to make sure you just keep it clean, and as you said, that is so difficult with the number of cars, and as I say, this circuit in particular, you don't normally see real life races with this many cars on this circuit. You sometimes see the 24 hours with the multi-class racing. That does get a bit hairy sometimes, but with the field spread that we've got, there's a lot of dicing going on up and down the field.
Absolutely. So actually, that's a really good point. The Spa 24 hours running with GT3 cars probably has about 50 cars on the grid. But that's a debate for another time, because we're about to get underway. The grid is being formed. And just to run down the order for you, it's Peter Shilcock and James Caswell on the front row of the grid. Two rookies starting on the front row. Then it's Mark Greenhow in 3rd place. Dan Silver is in 4th place. Luke Critchley, Yellow Ooms on the 3rd row. Then Jake Olver and Stephen Williams, watch out for him. Garen Batten and Richard Spanners Ready is your top 10. Other drivers to look out for. Our race 2 winner, Alexander Dobbelsberger, obviously starting in 20th place with Wingfield and Flag just in front of him. Bradley Philpott starting from 25th on the grid after dramas in the first 2 races. Carl Power starting down in 30th. Danny Henny in 33rd ahead of David Hatton. There's plenty of very quick guys starting right in the middle of the pack for this race, which is now underway, and Shilcock leads them away. Caswell looking towards the outside of La Source, but it's Shilcock who has the advantage. Greenhow trying to sneak his way up the inside. Plenty of cars going a little bit wide out at La Source. It's Greenhow looking to make it 3 wide towards Rouge. Thinks better of that as Caswell has made his move into the lead of the race. Just got the better run out of La Source, and he's through and leading Shilcock onto the Camel Straight. Everybody else is in 3rd place at the moment. Greenhow, Silver and Ooms doing battle as well. Stephen Williams right in the mix of that. Look at Williams down on the inside in the Aston Martin colours. He's about to pick up 3 places at once here. Oh, bit of contact just on the outside of Les Combes. It looks like they've survived that, and it's Williams who's made up a few places. He's in 4th.
He has, and Ooms is right behind him, so those two are rapid racers. They could be heading towards the front very shortly as the lead changes once again, Chris.
Yep, so Shilcock did get back through around Les Combes, but Caswell takes it straight back into the no-name left-hander. Got a better run out of Rivage, and this is the open door for Mark Greenhow to go up the inside towards Pouon. Was a little bit wide in doing so, but he has made it stick. Plenty of cars having to take to the tarmac runoff area out there. And Williams surely got a pounce now around the outside of Fanier. I said keep your eyes on Stephen Williams. He's already up into 3rd place, and he'll be looking down at the back of Mark Greenhow very, very soon.
Also keep your eye on Philpott and Henny, who've now made up to 15th and 16th places respectively. They are charging through the field. They will be up the front of the grid very, very shortly, Chris.
Look at Spanners in 8th place as well, running up ahead of Gary Thomas and James Wingfield. That trio has had a blinding start. Thomas 9th, Wingfield 10th, Dobbelsberger 11th, and Tim Ellis 12th. Don't forget, they started at the back of the top 20 after their results in race 2.
And here comes Spanners into the bus stop. He moves to the outside, see if he can overtake Garen Batten. These two have had battles before in the past. There's a spinner in front of them.
That's Shilcock, who was leading. He was on pole position, and he's dropped it. Oh, behind them, Dobbelsberger and Gary Thomas have come together down into the bus stop. And look who's come out behind them. Danny Henny crosses the line in 7th place. So Henny looking at the back of Tim Ellis. Looks like Flag got himself into a bit of strife down at La Source. Meanwhile, for 2nd place, Stephen Williams is making his move around the outside. Straight clear, and Spanners has done the same thing. Streams past Garen Batten. And that's 4th place for Spanners. Sorry, I had to double check my timing screen because we very briefly lost James Caswell from the lead, but he is still there. And it's Williams in 2nd place, ahead of Mark Greenhow, Richard Spanners ready, Garen Batten, Danny Henny now in 6th place. I mean, maybe this is the opposite of the commentator's curse, where now he's going to go and score some big points.
You've done it now, Chris.
Absolutely. I mean, I was about to say there are 6 different people who've been on the podium tonight, and Danny Henny isn't one of them. How unbelievable is that?
That is impressive. And also, Brad Philpott, I'm struggling to find him. I think I saw him in the pits a moment ago. So after I gave him the commentator's curse, he was doing very well. But yeah, he's dropped right back down the field. So that's a real shame.
It's a shame for him, yeah. Mark Greenhow is not through in this battle for 2nd place. Still with Stephen Williams. But I tell you, even with the slipstream, he's struggling to match Williams' top speed.
Yeah, somebody who's coming under pressure, though, is Spanners in 4th from Batten behind. He's going to move to the outside into the bus stop once again.
So Batten looking to retake this position from Spanners and breaks deep round the outside. And, no! Spanners has gone into the back of him, just under braking. It was a tiny little nudge, but it was enough to send Batten round, and that's a shame. And that's more free positions for Danny Henny, who has just done a 12.3 across the line, and he is hauling in the guys in front.
It looks like Spanners is doing a very gentlemanly thing of he was backing off to see if Batten can go past, but Batten is nowhere to be seen. He's lost a couple of places. Henny now up to 4th.
So up at the front of the field, looks like we're about to see a change for the lead as James Caswell on lap 3 is going to have to yield to Stephen Williams. And look at the speed that Williams has got in a straight line in that car. There must be no wing on that thing at all.
You can actually see on these cars on the stream and actually in the model in iRacing, you can see the difference in wing levels. Stephen's got a very slender little T-tray there, whereas the guys behind him have got much fatter wings. So yeah, that is borne out on the graphics there. So Williams, moves up into P1. He's already got half a second. I expect him to blast away. You've got Greenhow coming up behind Caswell as well, a much more experienced racer. We'll see if he can make some moves into P2.
Well, he's going to have to scamper away because Danny Henny is less than 5 seconds behind him in 4th place, and with still 6 and a bit laps to go, I can very easily see Danny Henny challenging for the lead come the final lap. So he's got to get his foot down. Last time around, he was only a 10th slower than Danny, but not quite sure how much traffic Danny had to contend with on that lap. So maybe this will be a better representation of their pace.
Spanners under pressure again down the back straight. He has got Brian Boomsma just behind him in the orange arrows liveried car,
No.
swarming all over him.
Now, there's someone we haven't spoken a lot about tonight, but Boomsma, I guess, hasn't been fighting up at the front, but he certainly was in the Formula Renault Challenge. And this is the best we've seen of him all night, and is about to make his way up into 6th place. Oh, no, Spanners does let him through. Looked like he didn't brake deep enough, but Spanners ended up yielding the position to him anyway. So Danny Henny was 0.6 of a second quicker than Stephen Williams. Williams was making a pass on him, but he practically had a slipstream down the Kemmel Straight. So he is going to be hauling him in. That gap is 5 seconds with 6 laps to go. It's going to be nip and tuck. Oh, where's James Caswell gone? Just a glitch on the timing screen. He is still in 2nd place, sorry.
He is. He's less than 1.5 seconds behind Stephen Williams and about a second ahead of Mark Greenhow at the moment, still in 2nd.
So Henny was just having to contend with a little bit of lap traffic there. Hasn't seemed to have held him up too much, because he's still closing these guys down. I mean, he must be loving seeing what's happened so far in this race, and now he's just putting his foot down. And Tim Ellis just behind him as well, about 2 seconds behind. He's in 5th place. Could potentially pick up some spoils if the guys in front of him start squabbling.
And the leader, Stephen Williams, is behind some of that lap traffic at the moment. He's making his way through, but he did get bulked a little bit onto the back straight. In fact, as has James Caswell, he got a little bit checked up on the exit there. That could give Greenhow a bit of a run coming down into the bus stop.
I mean, all of these tenths of a second are going to be absolutely crucial if Henny can close down that gap. Come the final lap, you could rue the 10th that you lost behind a back marker at some point, and you're absolutely right. Greenhow is very much closing down Caswell for 2nd place. There's a little think about it up the inside of the bus stop, but can't make it stick. So keep an eye on him out of La Source and down the Kemmel Straight. Plenty of traction for Caswell on the exit of the bus stop, and seemingly out of La Source as well, but we'll see the run they get as they come over the top of the hill at Eau Rouge. And Henny, once again, the quickest car by about half a second on that last lap. He's just 1.8 seconds behind Greenhow now for 3rd place. So especially when these two start squabbling again, it's just going to help Henny reel them in. Lap 5 of 9. So we're just over halfway through this final race of the night. Williams' advantage up to 2.3 seconds in this battle for 2nd place. Developing nicely. Just give another update on Spanners. He's still in the thick of the action in 9th place. He's got Edward Shelley and Ishmael Basso battling right in front of him, and Anil Singh coming down on him as well. That's all going off over 7th place.
That's it. And some of the other panelists, so you got Matt Trumpets. He is in 43rd position. He's actually the next car to be lapped in front of the leaders. You've also got Kyle Power in 28th place, having a good battle with James Wingfield. And I actually haven't seen Alex Van Gien. He's dropped off my radar. But there's your panelist for you, Chris.
I've got him in last place, so that's started out so well for him tonight, didn't it? How the fortunes turn.
Absolutely. No, he was he was in the lead at the very beginning, and first to last, 0 to hero, or hero to 0.
Greenhow very close again, under braking for the bus stop chicane. It's the closest he seems to get. Oh, little twitch in the middle of the chicane there. That's going to cost him a few tenths. Now, he was close at that same point last time around. Whether he's quicker out of Stavolo and down that back straight, or if Caswell is making mistakes. Either way, he's now got Danny Henny to contend with.
Yeah, here he comes. You can see that slender wing on Danny Henny's car. He's surely going to have a great run down the Camel Straight as they
There's
go
nothing
through
of it, is there? It's just, why even bother with it? And, well,
Here he
this is
goes.
going to be the moment. And Greenhow leaves him plenty of space. And look, he's gone already. Just straight through. And even with the slipstream, can't come anywhere close to Henny's speed. And Caswell deep into that chicane. And practically holding Henny up at this point. Goes straight through at Malmedy. And, that opens up the door for Greenhow. Opportunistic move there to sneak back onto the podium. That's Greenhow's experience showing up there. Caswell in his first Missed Apex Motorsport event.
Yeah, that was a classic let the faster guy through and then follow in his wheel tracks as he puts the other guy wide and yeah, just slammed straight through. Fantastic move there from Greenhow.
So, 3 and a bit laps to go. 4.1 seconds between Williams and Henny. And last time round, he was 0.8 of a second quicker. Do you think he can do it?
Still not enough, Chris. That'll only bring him 3.5 seconds in. So it's going to be tight. He might be able, if he can snick that slipstream just down the back straight on the final lap, you might be in with a last lap lunge. Do you think Henny will, after the day he's had today, take that risk? I don't see why not.
Probably, yeah. I mean, we love to get an opportunity to compare their top speeds because they're both running no wing on the back of that car at the moment. We've seen them breeze past cars with ease. Caswell not finished for that place on the podium. He wants that back. And he was getting close to Greenhow under braking for the bus stop. So very much a role reversal now. And we're seeing Tim Ellis close in on that battle as well. He's 1.4 seconds behind them, and I dare say it will be on the back of these guys by the end of the race. Greenhow coming back up Eau Rouge, and Caswell really picking up the slipstream. And using it to his advantage, moving towards the inside on the Camel Straight, and we'll have the line down into Les Combes. Let's see how Greenhow's going to be able to defend that one. Tries it with late braking around the outside, and very respectful racing as they both leave each other room. But Caswell finally with the inside line down into the right-hander. Gets it done, although Greenhow having another look back up the inside of Rivage. And Caswell does have to give him some space. Greenhow's going to make this one stick. He does. And look at Tim Ellis. He's arrived on the scene now.
Yeah, very quickly. In fact, he's going to pounce
him
as Caswell goes a bit wide.
Straight away. And towards the inside of Pouon. Nicely done. So can he sneak his way onto the podium now is the question. He was, well, to be fair, Greenhow was racing and overtaking, but a lot quicker than Greenhow on the previous lap. So we'll see what the lap times are this time round. Thank you very much for your comments, by the way, in the live chat room. A lot of you seem to be big fans of Gregory Leader at the moment, and he's running down in 19th place at the moment. So definitely it seems like race 1 was his best performance of the night. And Sam Watley seems to think that Henny's going to throw the car at Williams from 10 car lengths back.
I don't see that happening. I think Danny's not quite. We're just going to come across the line now. Chris might get a bit of an update, but I don't think he's made quite the indent that he'd like to, despite the traffic.
Yeah, 0.6 of a second quicker on that last lap, gap down to 3.2, and 2 laps to go. It's going to take a mistake from Williams, I think, at this point.
He is putting in qualifying laps, though, at 2:10.9. That is an amazing race pace.
Battle for third, still not over. Greenhow is about to have his mirrors full of Tim Ellis, although he is going to get a slipstream from the back marker in front of him. So that could well help him defend this position down the Camel Straight.
He did lose a little bit of momentum through Radion, so Ellis might get a bit of a look. It probably isn't going to happen this time, but he's certainly right on his heels into the last couple of laps.
Fantastic speed down the Camel Straight for Tim Ellis. And we'll see if he can stick with him through the twisty middle sector. And that's the back marker having to move clear. I think that's Adrian Clark that they're rounding up. And Ellis still sticking with Greenhow so far in this middle sector. So again, it looks like we're on for another 3 different podium finishes. So we are going to have the 9 from 9 by the looks of it. I think that's even more competitive than how the Formula Renault Challenge started. Meanwhile, Greenhow was a little bit deep into the Fanier chicane. That's given Ellis the run he needs. And again, he has that little look up the inside of Savalo. We saw him do this in the last race. Didn't quite put Greenhow off as much as he would have wanted, but he's now in a perfect position with the slipstream back up the hill and lining up this third place manoeuvre now. Coming up towards Blanchimont, absolutely flat out, and he has to go more towards the outside. That gives him the inside line for the bus stop chicane. Can he get his slowed down when he gets there? Just about. Oh, he has a couple of twitches, and that gives Greenhow the run out of the corner. But Ellis looks like he's just got the momentum to hang on. Williams has started his last lap, yep, and Ellis towards the inside of last source. Makes that move stick. Boomsma, by the way, looking at James Caswell for 5th place. And Greenhouse still not finished with Tim Ellis for 3rd place. Looking up the inside towards Eau Rouge. He's trying to go around the outside. Fantastic. Oh, he had to cut the top of it to make it work. Fantastic move.
That was incredible. How did he manage to keep that straight?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So with less than a lap to go now, and Williams is going to Ellis is going to have to pull something out of the bag to reclaim that spot. Might be in the perfect position actually if they come out of Stavolo in the same order. He can just get him back towards the bus stop chicane. So we are on the last lap. The gap at the front of the field is 1.5 seconds. Williams has to be inch perfect for the rest of this lap, and I tell you, he's got traffic in front of him. He could still get held up. There's so much traffic in front of him. There's 4 cars squabbling for position right in front of him. He's got to pray that they see him coming and that they're going to get out of the way. But they're too busy focusing on themselves. Only a few corners to go.
Yeah, this could be disastrous for him. Henny is there just prowling like a shark just behind. It's Greenhow in there, and they're all. He's doing well as well. He's managed to keep Ellis just behind. He's going to get a bit of a run though.
So Trumpets are the next car up the road. He's going to get a slipstream from him actually. Might do. Is he just going to tuck in behind them and hope to gather up their slipstream? 1 second is the gap to Henny. And what do you do when you get down towards the bus stop chicane? Just going to tuck in behind them because these guys are still squabbling for position. Henny is right there. It's going, getting held up behind Trumpets. Henny spun though. Henny spun out of 2nd place. Williams wins. And Henny, I think, is just going to get over the line in 2nd place. Tim Ellis has made it back onto the podium. He's in 3rd. So we were worried about the gap at the end, which was 6.8 by the end of it. Very odd mistake from Danny Henny at the end, but that was race 3.
It's seeing a replay. He actually got it out of shape on the way into the bus stop, nearly collected it up, but just had that little bit of momentum, spun him round, and he barely crossed the line in front of Tim Ellis, who did manage to make a lunge down the inside of Greenhow into that final chicane. They were side by side through the fast left-hander just before. That was incredible stuff if we get to see a replay of that one.
Yeah.
Amazing dicing between those two this evening.
Fantastic. Just give you the rest of the order. So Brian Boomsma got 5th place, Ishmael Basso in 6th, James Caswell he fell down to 7th, but it's his first night in the championship. I doff my cap to you, sir. Edward Shelley in 8th, Spanners got 9th, and Adam Rosales, that was the top 10. What a way to start off this new championship.
Oh, Chris, do you know what? The racing, I was a bit worried that with these faster cars that do require a little bit more driver skill, I was worried that we wouldn't get close racing. Boy, was I proven wrong.
Yeah, the racing has just been absolutely fantastic. Is there anyone we want to get in before we hand over? Let's see if we can get Stephen Williams in. I'd love to hear his thoughts about just watching a little red dot in his mirrors getting closer and closer.
I've got Mark Greenhow first of all. Mark,
Okay.
are you with us in the comms booth?
Hello, yes, here I am.
So, what were you thinking through Eau Rouge there on that last lap? That was an incredible move you pulled.
Yeah, no, it was a kind of, I really wanted that third place. It would have been by far my highest finish. I thought Tim might be a little bit conservative, so it was time to be sticky.
Oh, do you know what? And then just in the bus stop at the end, he just had you on the inside. It was fantastic duel between you two. We were sad to see you miss out on your maiden podium position.
Yeah, thanks, man. He had me all the way down Lacombe, so I don't know why he kept trying to do it in the bus stop, but it was a fantastic end to the race.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you had a really good enjoyment of that wonderful battle. Thank you for that.
Well, that brings about an end to the first 3 championship races, the first round of the brand new Missed Apex iRacing Formula 3 Cup. But coming up next, we have the fun race, which is going to be in the Dallara IndyCar DW12 around a secret track, I think. People don't know what it is yet. So Chris is going to take you through that. But for me, that's all, and we will see you at the next round.
It's like we were never away. What a fantastic evening of racing from the Spa-Francorchamps circuit with our new F3 Cup. And now to bring you the race 4 of the evening, we have the Dallara DW12 Indy cars from the Charlotte Oval. If you haven't joined us before for these fun races, they are a little bit crazy, a lot of fun, and a little bit of a wind down from the serious competition the rest of the evening. I'm your host, Chris Catman-Turner, and I shall bring in other drivers as we go along, trying to see if I can distract them as we drive, but also just to poke a little bit of fun. It's definitely nothing serious. So tonight, as I say, we're at the Charlotte Oval in the IndyCars. It looks like they're actually lining up for the race already. They're going to do almost a Le Mans start where they start kind of adjacent to the circuit behind the pace car, and then they'll file off and do 1 or 2 laps behind the pace car. It'll then pull in and we'll get underway. The very short little practice session there gave us a little bit of a grid. So we have Brian Boomsma on the pole with Dobbitsberger in P2 by the looks of things. Lucas Raskovitz in 3rd and Rosales in 4th. And they are away. They are not messing around this evening. So they will line up 2 by 2 behind that lovely iRacing pace car. And Boomsma seems to want to get it to get going, get those tyres warmed up, because he's almost pushing it along with his nose. And we also have Danny Henney, who is looking in one of the Penske, old Penske type cars. That is a beautiful livery there. And Lucas Raskovitz is in one of the JPS liveried machines as well. There's an amazing M&M's logo, the number 67 Garen Batten. That is quite a striking logo with livery as well. I thought I'd see if I can bring some people into the commentary booth. We've got Spanners. Let's see if you're there. Spanners.
I am here. Hello. This is interesting.
This is these things are pretty quick, aren't they? This is going to be
they're pretty quick, and what they've done is they've set, because we wanted to not be flat out, race control have gone ahead and set the temperature to oven temperatures, so you have to really lift in the corners here.
Nice. And we are away. Sorry to distract you, Spanners. I will kick you back.
Thank you.
Have a good race. So going away on the first lap, we have it's Danny Henney in the lead in that Penske coloured car, followed by Boomsma, and there's been a massive crash into turn 2. Cars piled up absolutely everywhere for that one, upside down, inside out, all around. So yeah, Henney managed to make it through with Boomsma in second, closely followed by Lucas Raskovitz and Garen Batten moving to the inside to try and take 3rd place in that M&M livery. He has the inside line. Will that mean that he gets it? Because on the upper... Oh, and he's actually crashed. This is absolute chaos as we go down the back straight. Those back markers, we've already caught up with them. And they are showing absolutely zero respect for the leaders. Danny Henney has made it through unscathed so far, somehow. We have Batten in second, absolutely rammed from behind by Dobbitsberger, who is very, very close to getting him. Doesn't quite make it there. Tucked in under the rear wing. Going to try and move to the inside lane, getting a good slipstream. Here he goes. But as I say, you have to carry a little bit less momentum under there. He has made it through this time. So Garen Batten pulls out of that one, and then they're going to get in the slipstream of the back markers just ahead. Let's see if he can make it round. There is a lot of tyre smoke that they seem to be flying through at the moment from one of the spinners up ahead. So let's see. Oh, and the 2 of them have just been taken out by a crashing back marker there. So now we have John Lang has made it through, and David Hatton up into 2nd and 3rd place. Danny Henney once again just seems to be able to just sift through the carnage so far. John Lang in the number 48 car with the yellow, cyan and purple, and then we've got it's David Hatton just behind him. So that's the closest battle that we have at the moment. But once again, that could all turn on its head as there are cars literally everywhere flying up and down. Hatton just made that pass. I have no idea how he managed to scrape himself out of that one. And this is just a demolition derby. There's cars going everywhere. Oh, Hatton gets a little bit sideways trying to avoid them going down the apron. And this is absolutely edge of the seat stuff. All of that has allowed Danny Henny to get a 2.6 second lead over John Lang, with David Hatton and Kyle Power now in 4th place in the bright green liveried car as well. Having to brake down the straight as he carves his way through the carnage. It looks like John Lang has got caught up in that carnage, so he is dropping back a bit as well. Hatton was pushed a little bit wider. We have a competition caution. I think that is probably sensible. Very, very sensible there. And they haven't all quite slowed down enough for that competition caution. Kyle, somehow you seem to be in P2 or 3, although I have no idea what's going on in front of you there.
I just caused that a little bit behind Lucas, but I think I just piled into him. He's bonkers. It is absolutely crazy. Really, really fun though. It's just people crashing everywhere, and it's like Days of Thunder going through the smoke.
I can imagine in VR this is absolutely crazy and probably slightly terrifying, I would imagine.
It is. We're not very good at pace laps because I just caused an accident. Now something's hit me. This is quite amusing. I'm trying to filter in somewhere and talk. I don't know where I've got to be. Oh, I've got to let people by. This is absolutely carnage, but I'm sure it's great for the viewers. It's certainly fun doing it.
Enjoy the rest of it.
Thank you.
Oh dear. So let's see. Let's see if we can get Trumpets involved as well. Trumpets, what is going on here?
Well, it was all going well till it wasn't, and now I'm just following the 89 car per my instructions.
Oh dear. So this is a very interesting introduction to oval racing if people haven't seen it before. But I think if we had the damage on, I don't think they would be left by the end of the first lap.
Yeah, no, there would be maybe 3 people left.
So you're an oval aficionado. You like watching IndyCar racing. What's the secret to getting a good result at an oval race?
Oval races are all about momentum. You want to use as little brake and as little steering input as you can get away with.
Okay, and on this circuit, they've made the track condition so that it is a little bit slippery, and you do have to lift off the throttle for the corners. Whereas I think on an ideal day, it's probably flat most of the way around. Is that making it a bit hairy through these really high bank corners?
Oh yeah, absolutely. As you can see from the carnage up ahead of me. Even
Fantastic.
under a yellow flag. To touch the brakes is to lock the wheels.
Oh wow!
And
we saw for your races at Spa, you did remarkably well in a couple of those. You were running very high, and then a couple of incidents. What was your race like?
Well, first race was actually, I think, it was good till Rich waved me through and I missed my braking point and spun, but I felt like I had a decent comeback from that, so I was happy enough. Second race, I was doing very well.
Yeah, I was going to say you were right up there, and I think you're just about.
I was at 3 or 4 back markers into the bus stop.
Yeah, because we were wondering whether Spanners was gonna get up with you at that point, but it just seemed like you dropped off from there. That was a real shame because you were.
Well, what happened was I was exiting the bus stop, and my gosh, like something weird has happened in my Oculus. I feel like I'm looking sideways while I'm looking straight ahead. It's very disconcerting. Anyway, I was just going around back markers, and I thought someone had given me enough space to take the apex out of the bus stop, but their nose was there and just caught my rear wheel. So that ended that race. And in the last race, I think I net coded with Danny because when on the replay, he completely took my wheel off into turn 1, but he was able to carry on, I guess, with no damage. So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I felt good. I had some good laps. I had some good overtakes and some fun. So.
Fantastic.
Always
Well,
next time.
the pace car is still out the front, but good luck for the rest of this crazy race.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bit of an insight into oval racing there and into Trumpets evening. I think one of the best things about these missed Apex events is that no matter where you are in that 50 car field, everybody gets a good time. It's always interesting having the reverse grids as well, because you get the fast guys having to try and make their way through the pack and to varying degrees of success, and sometimes that can be a lot of fun to watch. We've got the lights out on the pace car, so it will be coming in the very, very near future. And we have Danny Henney in the pole position again behind the safe car. That is a Neil Singh on the inside of him. The next car back is David Hatton, but he is fifth on the road, so Henney looks like he's going to get a bit of a run here. You've got Kyle Power in third place just on the outside, so he is going to be right behind Hatton for that restart. Then you've got Nicholas Cardell, who's done remarkably well in both the F3 and in this series as well, actually. So he's having a fantastic debut. I hope he's having a good time. You've got Sam Watley in fifth and Tim Ellis in sixth. I feel like I should have some sort of catchphrase as the American commentators do. Danny Henney gets away incredibly well and leaves the rest of the field absolutely sleeping. Then you have David Hatton. He has made it through as well. Carl Power has got a bit of a run on him, though, trying to keep up. He's gone to the inside lane. And that's Rosales next to Hatton. Hatton is trying to make his way through. There's three abreast down the back straight. Somehow those three have made it through without crashing, and that's put Carl Power a bit on the back foot because he had to get out of the throttle. Hatton nearly makes an error and goes to the apron. That does give Carl Power a run. He's going to go to the outside. Hatton's going to keep the inside lane. He is dicing with death on that by touching that blue line there, but somehow he managed to keep it out of the wall. So Power still stays in third place behind Hatton. They're coming up to back markers again, who seem to be causing absolute chaos in front of them. As I say, they've made it like an oven. We got back to Danny Henney, who seems to be all by himself again, out the front. He's absolutely all by himself. There was just one back marker on the apron there. Henney once again showing his class in whatever he's driving. Seems to have the reactions of a scalded cat by managing to get out of the way of these back markers. There is a absolute gaggle of them in front of him, and he's closing down with remarkable speed with tyre smoke going absolutely everywhere. Second the high line, managed to get round a good couple of them though, using the slipstream to good effect. So he's now 3 seconds ahead of Hatton, who's now also 3 seconds ahead of Power, so they're streaming out a little bit. And then those are the only three on the lead lap currently. Everybody else is a lap down. You have Dan Silver Jr. in fourth place, Rosales in fifth, and Tim Ellis in sixth. Oh, and that was Henney up in the wall. But luckily he managed to go underneath the spinning car. That was absolutely crazy. And it seems to me that Carl Power is backwards, as is David Hatton. I'm not quite sure if they hit each other, but David Hatton is somewhat limping home. His car is seems to be a three-wheeler. Kyle Power is going roughly in the right direction, although it is crabbing a little bit. That could make the rest of his evening very interesting. That has put who is that? That's Nick Cardell. Fantastic for him. He's up into P2. How long for? My timing screen says we are on lap 17. It could be over 45, although they have a wonderful tendency to cut these fun races slightly short, depending on how the Overlord organisers are feeling. But we do. Let me see where Danny Henney is. Yeah, he's still out there. A good 6 seconds ahead, and he is absolutely ploughing on. No concerns from him. Stephen Williams doing very well in another very green, luminous green car coming up in. He's in P5. car number 17. I think he's just absolutely stormed past Alan Rosales, who was on the apron there. Oh, it's absolutely terrifying watching the guys coming back from a spin as they just charge up off the apron onto the main track. It's I can't imagine what this would be like in real life. So yeah, Carl Power still somehow is running high up the order in P3. Despite that error, I guess he was one of the only guys on the lead lap, so it would have taken him a little while to get past him. And somehow the calm has descended again on the circuit. I say that as Danny Henny ploughs through a couple of cars and is backwards and in the wall, upside down everywhere. So this could be a change of lead. And there goes Cardell. Cardell was also involved in that incident, I believe. So he is just on the inside. He has got a broken rear suspension. So that is Kyle Power storming through. Could this be a repeat of what we saw earlier on in the day, where Kyle Power took the lead and the victory in race 1 at the final corner? Kyle Power, despite having that incident, is now well and truly in the lead. Danny Henny is just rocketing down the field. So as long as Carl can keep it out of the barriers, which he has not, as I say that, he crashes into one of the back markers and spins around. The damage seems to be very hit and miss on this model. I think if you hit something at about 170 miles an hour like he just did, I wouldn't expect you to be able to continue. But yeah, here he goes. Here he is heading into the pits though. There we go. So that will change the lead to Stephen Williams in the other green. Is that a Quaker State car? By the looks of things, or is that a GoDaddy? GoDaddy, there we are. Yeah, that's the Danica Patrick livery from a couple of years back. So one green car to another. Steve Williams now takes the lead. These cars are absolutely phenomenal, doing over 200 miles an hour around this oval. And Steve Williams is out the front. Let's run back and see where some of the guys are. Kyle Power is now just heading out of the pits. He has just been taken for third, but he is now a lap down as the leader. Stephen Williams goes past on the circuit. It takes a little while for them to be able to get out of the pits and back up again. So one pit stop makes a massive difference here. Let's go and have a look for some of the other guys. Spanner's ready. He is currently in the pits in the car number 11, but he was in P13. Let's see if we can have a chat to Spanners, who is in the pit lane. Spanners, what's going on for you? You were doing so well in P13.
I think I'm still in P14. That's how bad everyone is doing. There's competition cautions. We just noted, like, what would this be like if there was actual kind of incidents, damage was on, and we took this seriously? It would be incredible, because the driving experience is absolutely bonkers.
It is. It would be a very short race. I think you could probably do a 2-lap race, and that would be enough.
Well, before this track car combo, I've done exactly one time, and I was in the bottom split, and I won it. And a 25 car grid, I think I won by a lap. And after 2 laps, there was only 12 cars on the. So I think, attrition is a feature of this kind of racing.
Do you know what? If this was real racing in real life, they would. The people would be flocking to see it because it's absolute carnage.
Well, if you could guarantee that no one would get hurt, I mean, geez.
Yeah, exactly. That would be awesome. So we've just had a change of lead. Stephen Williams decided to do a bit of a pirouette on the start straight. So we now have John Langan followed by Dan Silver. So there is still action going on up the front. And in fact, Silver is only 3/10 behind Langan. So it's all to play for up there. Meanwhile, down
you're going to have to put me back in with the other people, because I've got to try and convince race control to clear black flags.
Okay, I will pop you back in. Enjoy the rest of your race. Oh man, this is madness. So yes, actually, what is a fantastic little battle here for the lead is Langan and Silver. Silver's going to the outside lane, see if he can take it. And Langan just touches the inside apron, gets a bit squirrely, but didn't seem to lose too much momentum. As Strumpets was saying, it's all about momentum on these big ovals when you're doing over 200 miles an hour. Every mile an hour counts. It's so slippery out there today. Langan tries to go defensive to the inside line. He knows he's not under pressure at that point, so he can just take his normal racing line. But Silver seems to try and carry more momentum, go to the part of the course and has done a bit of a switchback. Has he managed to get that inside lane? He has, and that is a fantastic move for the lead, and they nearly touch. Langen decided to go again down to that apron, and it's so slippery down there. They need to stay away from it because he lost a lot of forward drive there, and Silver is still up on the outside. Whoa, and they had to go around one of the back markers. So Silver is now in the lead. Langen, wow, that was so close as well, having to take a massive detour. I thought this was an oval, but yeah, they had to go right down on the apron to go past there. Meanwhile, behind them we have Tim Ellis and the recovering Kyle Power in 4th place. He's a lap down. So there's only 3 cars on the lead lap. And there, carnage there. And that's it for Silver. He's dropped out of the lead as he clattered into one of the back markers. That's given Langen a good, 4 or 5 seconds. Not as much as you'd have thought, but there we go. We have a look back at Tim Ellis in 3rd place. He's running that fantastic Jaguar livery that he was running earlier on his Indy car as well. It does transfer very well to this car. Beautiful livery with some American decals as well. He's gone up to 2nd place. He has now managed to take Silver, who has gone into the pits after that crash damage. You also get stop-go penalties for incident points, which I imagine there's a fair few of at the moment. And Ellis is in 2nd place, and we're about to enter the white flag lap as they've decided that enough is enough for these guys. They've had well too much fun. So we have Langen, who is going to take a first victory, most likely, in any form of racing for Missed Apex, and this is going to be a coup for him. Ellis in 2nd and Kyle Power in 3rd. How has he managed to keep on that lead lap? That is fantastic for him. So we will go back to watch John Langen. He's in one of the Penske livery cars with, I believe, what looks like a Scotland helmet. That could be a Franchitti tribute. And what a drive this has been for John Langen. He crosses the line. And that is your race winner. Tim Ellis on the back straight. He's under pressure from one of the target cars. Is he going to get taken out on the final lap? I think he's thought better of it and let him some racing room. He comes across the line in 2nd place. I think we have had a change coming in the final lap. Stephen William has just taken Kyle Power, and as Kyle Power just absolutely slams into the pit wall, and that is absolute madness. So thank you so much for joining us for the inaugural Missed Apex Formula 3 Cup evening, and I hope you had fun at the Charlotte Oval for the fun race with the Indy cars. I've been Chris Catman Turner. I've been joined by a wonderful team this evening. I hope you can join us next time.